New details are emerging about Monday's funeral in London for Queen Elizabeth II. Meantime, the line of mourners waiting to pay their respects at her casket is stretching more than 4 miles. Incredible footage. Just look at this right here. Tens of thousands of people spent hours waiting to file past the Queen's coffin as it lies in state at Parliament's Westminster Hall. Earlier today, Buckingham Palace released details for Britain's first state funeral since 1965. Royalty and world leaders are expected to be among the 2,000 people attending the service inside of Westminster Abbey. And we head now to London with Philip Crowther, affiliate correspondent for the Associated Press. Philip, welcome back. Great to have you as always. We have just seen this incredible footage of the long lines to pay respects to Queen Elizabeth II. I know you're standing right outside of where the casket is located. Can you describe to us the scene and also the atmosphere in the country right now?
Yeah, happy to do so. It's nighttime now here in London, and I think you can see over my left and right shoulders those long lines of people who are now slowly but surely getting to their destination. These are the Houses of Parliament. You can see behind me, Westminster Hall is the oldest part of the Houses of Parliament, and that is where Queen Elizabeth II is now lying in state. That is where these people are heading. They will not be allowed to use their phones. This is not a chance for them to take photographs of the casket. They will be allowed to file by the casket for maybe around a minute each of time they have to actually see it and experience the atmosphere inside Westminster Hall. And the atmosphere is different, really, for the people who are entering and then exiting, because it's a good-natured line that has been formed here, and a very long one as well. People making friends, of course, inevitably by standing with the same people for such a long time. But when you're the other side of the Houses of Parliament, where the people are exiting, having seen the casket, having prayed maybe over the casket of Queen Elizabeth II, you're seeing teary eyes and people who've very much been moved by what they have seen. You've seen the pictures of this line as well. It is now almost 5 miles long. If you know London a little bit, it goes all the way to Tower Bridge. That is an awfully long way. And the wait time right now for people who want to see this casket in person, well, that is 8.5 hours, according to the British government. An official period of mourning still underway here in the United Kingdom ahead of the state funeral of the Queen on Monday.
And Philip, we do understand that Buckingham Palace has released the details for Monday's funeral. What more can you tell us about that?
Yeah, and you won't be surprised to hear necessarily that the Queen was intimately involved in planning her own funeral. That is what Buckingham Palace has told us today. You'll see her faith, for example, reflected in the service in Westminster Abbey that's just next to us here, next to the Houses of Parliament. There'll be some music as well, some of her favorite music. And of course, what is most notable here maybe is one of the biggest ceremonial events that the United Kingdom has held for a very, very long time, with so many heads of state and heads of government, members of royal families coming here to London as well to take part in this state funeral of the Queen. The first one, as you mentioned, for a long time since the death of the former Prime Minister Winston Churchill. US President Joe Biden, of course, will be here alongside First Lady Dr. Jill Biden. The French President Emmanuel Macron has also said he will be here. Indeed, a lot of heads of government and heads of state will be here before they head to New York City, in fact, and the UN General Assembly. There will be a 2-minute silence at the end of this service on Monday around lunchtime, more or less. The night before, on Sunday, there will be another minute silence that is to be observed around the United Kingdom.
And we have maybe about 30 seconds left or so, but curious, how is King Charles III doing? We understand that he spent a very quiet day today, and also understand that today is the birthday of Prince Harry, and probably a solemn one at that.
Yeah, it's been a quieter day for the royal family. It's been an incredibly busy and, of course, a tragic time for King Charles III. He has travelled to all of the nations that make up the United Kingdom, and indeed next up for him is Cardiff, the capital of Wales. He's been to Edinburgh already. He's been to Belfast as well. And, of course, he's had to march behind the casket of his past mother. These are very difficult moments for King Charles III, despite the fact that this is something that was inevitable, that had been in the planning, of course, the state funeral as well. And will be more of that for the royal family when it comes to the actual state funeral. The cortege, again, will go from Westminster Hall, where the casket is right now, to Westminster Abbey, essentially across the road. But then there will be a longer trip past Buckingham Palace before that casket eventually ends up in Windsor. That is where the burial will take place on Monday evening here, local time.
Philip Crowther in London, thank you so much.